Traveling on a hop-on hop-off bus, we finally reached Clarke Quay for the Singapore River Cruise. Before riding the hop-on hop-off bus, be sure to get a copy of the map leaflet, which is available at the hop-on hop-off bus ticket counters and can also be found at the Changi Airport. This leaflet contains a map with a list of bus stops for each bus type. For example, if you want to ride the original tour bus and want to find the Orchard Plaza bus stop, here it is marked as G19 for the original tour bus. In Singapore, each public bus stop has a designated bus stop number. The designated bus stop number for G19 here is BS08137 at the Orchard Road. This means that the original tour bus will stop at bus stop 08137, which is the bus stop at the Orchard Plaza. The bus ticket package, which we bought at the Changi Airport, included a boat ride for the Singapore River Cruise. As we can see here, there are actually many jetties where you can ride the Singapore River Cruise. One of them is Clarke Quay, and you can get there using the hop-on hop-off tourist bus by getting off at bus stop marked here as Yellow City Bus Stop C6 or Original Tour Bus Stop G9, which is actually bus stop 04211 along the River Valley Road at Clarke Quay near the GMAX Reverse Bungee.
Tons of goods and bodies were stored as the go-downs or warehouses by the river, which are those buildings you see along the river bank. One of the buildings here was Whampoa's Ice House, which belonged to Hu Ah-Kay, a prominent businessman from Whampoa, China. Way before refrigerators existed, he noticed a demand for ice in our hot tropical weather and had processed ice hauled from frozen lakes in America all the way here to Singapore. Unfortunately, his ice venture failed because expenses were simply too high. But much respect to the imaginative Mr. Hu for his daring attempt to keep Singaporeans cool. Today, Singaporeans keep cool by sipping drinks al fresco by the river. As you can see, Clarke Quay has been transformed into a different but no less bustling port of call. Everyone flocks here for food, fun and riverside festivals. You may notice another bridge here. This one's called Reed Bridge, and it would seem yet another symbol of bringing people together. From the 1940s to the 1960s, this bridge was a popular place for storytellers to gather and jianggu, or shuoshu, which means talking about the past or talking about books. Street hawkers, warehouse laborers, and others from the largely Teochew Chinese community would gather here nightly to be entertained. The storyteller would start by talking about the day's news, then continue with riveting classic tales from ancient China. Each episode would last the duration of a burning joss stick, and the audience would pay just 1 cent in the 1940s and just 5 cents in the 1960s. Chinese wayang, or opera, was another popular form of entertainment back then, and there were 2 Teochew opera theaters here. In the 1950s, admission to watch an entire performance was just 50 cents, but the common practice was to only pay 5 or 10 cents just to catch the last 10 minutes, which was the most exciting part of the show. Some might say this opportunistic spirit of frugalness endures amongst the most cunning of Singaporean businessmen till today. During festivals and religious events, the opera performances would be staged outdoors for all to enjoy free of charge. The area to your right used to be the site of Riverside Village, a plague-infested squatters' colony which housed the seedy underbelly of opium dens, brothels, and secret societies. Addicts, ladies of the night, and gangsters jostled for space in this once dangerous, mysterious place. But today, the building Riverside Point sits on the historical foundations of that notorious village. No longer dangerous and seedy, but a delightful waterfront dining oasis that boasts its very own microbrewery. Perhaps you'd like to return by foot to explore all these fun possibilities. Did you know that the paths along the Singapore River make up one continuous looping promenade that connects everything you see along the riverbanks? Take a leisurely stroll and soak in the atmosphere along the 6-kilometer promenade that flanks both sides of the river. As you take in the sights and sounds, you'll be comfortably shaded by lush greenery and definitely tempted by the many shops and cafes along the way. Look across the river and up to your left. See the lush green hill and the large tower overlooking Clarke Quay and the river? That is Fort Canning Hill, where Raffles built his own bungalow, Singapore's first government house. He also planted a spice garden, Singapore's first experimental botanic garden, to cultivate commercially important spices. The hill was later used by the British as an arms store, barracks and hospital, which probably led to its final name, Fort Canning. But way before the British arrived on our shores, Fort Canning was the place where ancient Malayan royalty once lived and were laid to rest. It was considered so sacred that it was known as Forbidden Hill. Forbidden because commoners were not allowed to visit. Of course, all that has changed, and now you're most welcome to visit Fort Canning to see the old British underground bunkers, and if you're really brave-hearted, explore the ancient gravestones that still remain on its shady slopes. Now here's a building that just begs for attention. See the one adorned with colorful windows on your left? Home to the Ministry of Information, Communications and the Arts, its multi-hued facade not only reflects Singapore's multicultural heritage, but also hints at the building's equally colorful past. Can you believe that this rainbow-splashed complex used to be the old Hill Street Police Station and was once considered a skyscraper? But that was before World War II. In fact, the old Hill Street Police Station served as Singapore's earliest secure jail. And during World War II, it's even believed to have been a torture chamber. With such a vivid history, it's certainly no wonder the building was named a national monument in 1998. On your right is Boat Quay and its stretch of colorful, quaint shop houses. It was completed in 1842 and is Singapore's very first quay. At its peak in the 1860s, Boat Quay handled 3/4 of Singapore's total shipping business. The sheltered riverbanks made excellent loading and unloading places. Back then, the whole river was chock-a-block with thousands of boats transporting a whole myriad of goods to be traded by the merchants who had set up shop in that row of buildings on the bank. Some of those goods included seafood, spices, and rubber. The precious cargo was shouldered across gangplanks by immigrant laborers known as coolies, whose blood, sweat, and tears formed the very backbone of our nation's rise to prosperity. With so many intriguing new developments in and around this area, Marina Bay and the Singapore River have become popular venues for world-class events such as the annual New Year's Eve fireworks countdown and the world's first ever night race, the F1 Singapore Grand Prix. Did you know that during race season, hotel rooms overlooking the street circuit can go for up to $13,000 a night? Cruising out into the bay, you couldn't have missed the giant wheel in the sky to your right. That is the Singapore Flyer, a giant observation wheel and engineering wonder that provides breathtaking panoramic views of Singapore and the islands beyond. The Singapore Flyer took flight in March 2008, and while it may not look that big from down here, each of its capsules can hold up to 28 people. Look ahead to the right and you'll see two curious, spiky domes unique only to the Esplanade theaters on the bay. Because of its resemblance to the king of fruits, it's been affectionately nicknamed the Durians. But no worries here, quite unlike its pungent and often off-putting namesake, the Esplanade Theatres on the Bay sweetly attracts hordes of hungry culture vultures eager to taste of its many blockbuster productions. As the region's premier performing arts and entertainment centre, it boasts superb facilities, showcases world-famous musicals, and features popular homegrown events like the Mosaic Music Festival. And to really top that all, it also has a breezy rooftop garden where you'll get stunning views of Singapore's city skyline and Marina Bay. lionhead and fish body resting on a crest of waves, here's a quick history lesson. Singapore was originally known as the ancient city of Temasek. The green area to your right was once lined with lovely European-style houses that brought to mind the fashionable elegance of London's Mayfair. No wonder the Esplanade was a popular place for European settlers to see and to be seen. Over on the right bank, you may have noticed a fine fellow cast in blinding white plaster. Englishman Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles, the founder of modern Singapore. The statue marks the spot where Sir Raffles, the sporter, first landed in Singapore in 1819. Back then, Singapore was only a sleepy little fishing village, but Raffles saw enormous potential due to her location along the main shipping route between India and China. After signing an agreement with Singapore's then ruler, Sultan Hussein of Johor, Raffles set about establishing a trading post and free port on the island for England's East India Company. He developed a town plan, drawing up residential, administrative and commercial districts along the riverbanks of this budding island city. And there you have it. We finally come full circle, traveling from the heart of Singapore and along its vital, vibrant lifelines. Thank you very much for joining us on the Singapore River Cruise. We trust you've enjoyed your journey on the world's first environmentally friendly electric bumboats and hope you'll tell all your friends and family about this unique experience. We'd love to show them around too. So until next time, from all of us at Singapore River Cruise, we wish you a lovely and unforgettable stay in Singapore.